Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradari. Jaya Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashoda Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudhana Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Ashtottar Satasi Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada Anuga ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nittai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories, to Shri Guru and Guranga, all glories, Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, the deliverance of Muchukunda, the prayers of Muchukunda. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Story of Muchukunda. It's a beautiful story. It's a story of a very great king who is not, a very good king means a good ruler who is thinking of the Lord, performing his dharmic duties, but at the same time having a good material life as a king. Plus also knowing about Krishna, knowing the truth of life, absoluteness, everything. So in this way, he has finished his life, done great activities in his life. So the history is that King Muchukunda is actually coming in the Ikshvaku race like Lord Ramachandra. And his father is Mandata, the great King Mandata who 50 daughters who got married to Shaubari Muni. And that pastime of Shaubari Muni coming from the waters where he was meditating and marrying 50 daughters of Mandata, that we have heard. 50 daughters he had, and he also had 3 sons. One of them was Ambarisha. The other one is Muchukunda. Ambarisha's greatness we have heard. King Ambarish. Then Muchukunda is the other son, and there's one more son. So Muchukunda became a king following in the line. And he was a very great fighter and warrior. So good was he at fighting that even the demigods would ask his help when they are fighting the Asuras. Just like King Dasharath, we heard that how the demigods took his help to fight Shambhara and all of those great demons. So Muchukunda once was requested by Indra to come and help fighting with the Asuras. So he fought for a very long time. He did not even sleep throughout that fight. He was so dedicatedly, sincerely fighting, and the Devas won. When they won, they asked Muchukunda, so what benediction you want? We are so pleased with you. You fought even without sleeping. You fought like this for us, and you are a mortal man coming from the earthly planet, and you have done so much austerity here in this place of the demigods, and you have pleased us by your contribution as a great fighter. Tell me what boon you want. All Muchukunda said was, I just want to sleep. I want undisturbed sleep. Something like Kumbhakarna asked. I want undisturbed sleep. Because I really need rest. So he said, okay, we grant you that. Plus, anybody who disturbs you from the sleep, that fellow will be burned to ashes by just your look. Who dares disturb you in your sleep? Who spoils your sleep, you will be burned to ashes. In this way, they gave extra allowance to him. So Muchukunda came back, roamed the forest and found a nice cave, undisturbed, peaceful cave, went to sleep. He was sleeping. Now here what happened in Mathura, Leela of Krishna. Jarasandha, after he killed Kamsa, Jarasandha's 2 daughters were wives of Kamsa. They became very disturbed. We have been made widows because of this person Krishna. So they went and complained to the father, can you do something about this? We have become widows. In the open assembly he has killed my husband. So Jarasandha became very moved by his daughters telling these things. So he attacked Krishna. Only thing he can do as a warrior is to attack, finish him. So he attacked Krishna repeatedly, and Krishna and Balaram repeatedly defeated him and sent him back. 17 times Jarasandha attacked. 17 times, not once. And Krishna said, let him keep on attacking, better not kill him. Balaram getting ready to kill Jarasandha so that this will not happen again. He said, no, let him attack. So in this way, every time he attacks, we will drain him of all his forces, kill all his people. That was the plan. So he attacked 17 times, and 17 times they finished his entire army. Finally, Jarasandha took the help of Kalayavana, a Yavana king, who has got a special benediction also from Brahma. Brahma is giving him a special benediction that he will not be killed like this, etc. Kalayavana came with his 30 million soldiers, it's mentioned, huge hordes to help Jarasandha. Definitely will finish Krishna now. So God is not somebody whom easily you can overpower with your intelligence and your strategy and everything. So he came with a huge force, Kalayavana. And there's something to do with Gargamuni and boon from Gargamuni and all that for Kalayavana also. I forget that story. But he came with his huge hordes. And then seeing that, Krishna immediately strategized. He just got down from the chariot and started walking away. He just left the battlefield and started walking. Jarasandha has been defeated so many times. So it was Kalayavana's turn to follow Krishna. So immediately he ran behind Krishna and said, you coward, you're running away from the battlefield. You know that I will finish you. I've got such a huge army and you know who I am. Still you're running away. How can you be like that? Krishna kept walking and walking pretty fast. It's an amazing, funny strategy. The 30 million soldiers are waiting and everybody is waiting and everybody is waiting to fight and Krishna walks away. So he got the name Ranchor. He ran away from the battlefield. And it looked like he is a coward, but the Supreme Lord did not care about it. That name became a glorified name, Ranchor. It's a temple of Ranchorji, you can see in Dakor. So he just got down and just kept walking as though nothing has happened and I am going about doing my business which I am supposed to, and nobody orders me what to do and there is no rule for me. He just walked. So Kalayavana was, walking very fast, but Krishna was super fast. Walking, very casually walking, but it was actually very fast. He walked and walked and led Kalayavana into the middle of the forest. And then he entered his cave where Muchukunda was sleeping. Because Krishna, he wanted to deliver Muchukunda, his devotee. So he entered the cave. Krishna does multiple things in one shot. If you're talking about multitasking, you should see what Krishna does. So many things are achieved by him in one shot. So he disappeared into the cave. He knows where Muchukunda is sleeping. He didn't bang into Muchukunda. But this Kalayavana came looking for Krishna and tripped over Muchukunda. And he said, some vague saint is sleeping here. But, and Muchukunda got up. Muchukunda got up and he looked around, who's that? And he looked at him. As soon as he looked at Kalayavana, burned to ashes. So then Krishna appeared to Muchukunda. So I find this to be extremely smart, very intelligent move Why waste time fighting 30 million this thing? 17 times these people are coming attacking. There's no use. So let us, have somebody put on top of somebody. So he had Muchukunda finish Kalayavana. And Muchukunda, when he looked at Krishna, he was feeling, wow, what a beautiful person. Are you some demigod? Are you Surya, Chandra? Your feet look so soft. He is looking at Krishna's lotus feet and saying, look like a lotus. Are you not getting hurt walking in this, barefooted in this cave? Like that he started discovering Krishna after getting him from his sleep. So there is beautiful prayers of Muchukunda to Krishna, which is, I think, one of the best, very frank, open and forthright prayers. You see, Krishna has done something extremely smart and intelligent by not wasting time. With certain types of people in life, we see that they come to attack you. They like to just attack you. But you try once, twice, thrice, and it is not worth it. It's not worth spending the time. Sometimes you should learn that you get angered, you react, and then you get stuck in a cycle of this anger and reaction. You have to get out of it. You have to know that you have to judge whether it is useful or not. Whether it is useful or not. Sometimes it's a waste of time. I had a small story sent to me on internet saying the story of the pig and the elephant. Elephant took its bath and it was feeling very fresh and it was walking back to the family. That time a pig from the slush also was coming in front. From the dirty slush, pigs, slushing around. Dirty slush came here in front of the elephant. And the pig was on his own very proud trip of thinking that, elephant, who is he? I am the chief pig. We got real huge size, eating stool all the time and grown pretty big. A lot of stool and grown pretty big. And then around him is his dirt and all that. Groink. He was doing his regular sounds and then moving around and said, elephant, who is he? I am the head of the pigs. So the elephant actually moved on the side, away from the pig. And the pig said, see, now you know who is great. And then he called the other pigs and said, see, he's walking on the side, I am walking in the center of the road. And that was very surprising to all the pigs, his followers. So they all said, wow, we never knew that you were so powerful. You do not understand. Now you know, you're seeing. So the word went around and the elephants heard about it. That it seems you stepped aside, you are the king of our whole group, and you stepped aside and you gave way for that pig. And he thinks he is very great. So elephant said, yeah, I did that. So he said, why did you do like that? Why did you not stand in the middle of the road and say, move, you move? So he said, I didn't find it worth doing it. Because he's so dirty, then I'll mess around with him, I'll become dirty. I just cleaned myself, took a refreshing bath, I'll come back and spend time with my family and with my community. And in between this pig came, I took a quick decision, it's not worth standing in the center of the road and proving that I'm the elephant. I just went aside, let him go. Dirty, let him go. And then I assumed my journey and I'm peaceful. It is not that I cannot show him that I am great. I could have finished him with one, swipe of my trunk and thrown him. But then I'll have to go and wash my trunk and all that. So I decided not to. And be peaceful and not interfere. So not everybody who is your enemy and attacks you is worth your attention. Not everybody who attacks you is worth your attention. They just attack you by material nature's doing. So sometimes you just, okay, I'm very bad and thank you. In fact, that irritates them even more. You didn't, respond to my insult I gave you. So the best way to deal with envious people, it is mentioned, is to completely neglect them. When you neglect them, they become very disturbed and hot and attack you even more. The more you neglect them. Krishna did this to Kalayavana. He just saw the 30 million horde, what a big fight I have to fight. But what am I fighting? Right? There should be a reason for it, right? So he just got down and left. You're not worth my attention. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I have come here to perform pastime with my devotees and nourish them in their devotion. Everything. And you guys, in between keep on attacking. It's not worth spending time with you. I have already killed enough demons and everything. So you have joined Jarasandha, you want the thrill of fighting with me and all that. I am not going to give it to you. Attention from me is not going to come to you. In fact, it's enough for you to get the attention of Muchukunda and die. That's better for you. He led him to Muchukunda. So many times, how do we spend our time with enemies? Some of them who attack you, sometimes who politicalize things against you and do things. Sometimes it's not worth even our attention, because our business is to go back to Godhead. We should save our time to chant Hare Krishna, read Bhagavatam, and help those who are innocent and who are interested. In this way, our productivity will be more. World is filled with envious people. World is filled with mischievous people. World is filled with people who are under the grips of the three modes of Maya, and they're acting as instruments. We can't go and respond and react to everybody who comes. This world is filled with such people. So from this nice Leela of Krishna, we can understand that use your time wisely. We don't have to go and be a Kshatriya against everybody who attacks us. It's not our business to protect the whole country, protect the whole this thing sometimes. So Krishna coolly left. Muchukunda killed. And he gave attention to Muchukunda, not to Kalayavana. That's the best part of it. My attention now, I think he is lying in the cave, he needs to be liberated rather than spending time with Kalayavana. And I will use Muchukunda to kill Kalayavana. He will let him do that service for me. In this way he decided. So Muchukunda, after that is over. Now Jarasandha also is disappointed. Kalayavana is dead. The leader is dead, and Krishna escaped again. Before this, actually, I think he set fire to the hill, and they jumped off the hill, Krishna and Balaram. In this way, Jarasandha, repeatedly attacking, Krishna paid attention to Jarasandha. This is how Dwaraka residents came up. So Krishna built this beautiful, fantastic city in Dwaraka, mystically transferred everybody from Yadava clan into the Dwaraka city. Boom. And they were in Dwaraka. Because he thought that this Jarasandha and all of them attacking. So he shifted Mathura Leela, and then after the Dwaraka Leela started. So before this is him meeting with Muchukunda. And these are prayers of Muchukunda which are very, straightforward, filled with experience of material life. People who live rich material lives, but intelligently, and they analyze why this is happening and why it's not like that. Intelligently do it, not, sentimentally or fanatically, immediately, without thinking much. Muchukunda is an example of a person who has lived a good material life with purpose, solid enjoyment, everything. At the same time also thinking how long this lasts, what is going on. He also is keen to know what's going on. And then, because he comes in a great race, he is known, is exposed to many things. So he knows the reality, he knows about Krishna, he knows all these things. When Krishna appeared in front of him, he all of a sudden came to good conclusions about his life, having taken enough rest, having helped the demigods, having led a very good material life, full of enjoyment and everything that a king actually deserves. As a Vishayi, Lord Chaitanya called Prataprudra a Vishayi. Kings are all people who are into sense gratification. So Muchukunda is an example of a person who lived a good material life and still has got keen questions and desire to approach Krishna. So Krishna decided to actually give him mercy. He delivers Muchukunda. So in this meeting with Muchukunda, he is first time seeing Krishna. All of a sudden, causelessly Krishna is showing himself to Muchukunda. Sri Muchukunda said, reading, Sri Muchukunda vacha ko bhavan iha samprapto vipine girigahvare padbhyam padmapala shabhyam vijatasi urukantake. Sri Muchukunda said, who are you who have come to this mountain cave in the forest, have walked on the thorny ground with feet as soft as lotus petals? Kim svit tejasvinam tejo bhagavan va vibhavagusu surya soma mahendro va lokapalo aparo apiva. Perhaps you are the potency of all potent beings, or maybe you are the powerful god of fire, or the sun god, the moon god, the king of heaven, or the ruling demigod of some other planet. Manye tvam deva devanam trayanam purusharshabham yad badhase guhadvantam pradipah prabhaya yatha. I think you are the supreme personality among the three chief gods, since you drive away the darkness of this cave as a lamp dispels darkness with its light. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti points out, with his effulgence, Lord Krishna dispelled not only the darkness of the mountain cave, but also the darkness in Muchukunda's heart. In Sanskrit, the heart is sometimes metaphorically referred to as guha, cavern, a deep and secret place. Shushrushatam avyalikam asmakam narapungava swajanma karma gotram va katyatham yadi rochate. O best among men, if you like, please truly describe your birth, activities and lineage to us, who are eager to hear. Purport: when the Supreme Lord descends to this world, he certainly becomes Narapungava, the most eminent member of human society. Of course, the Lord is not actually a human being, and Muchukunda's questions will lead to clarification of this point. Thus the term Shushushatam to us, who are sincerely eager to hear, indicates that Muchukunda is inquiring in a noble way for his own and others' benefit. Vayam tu purusha vyaghra aikshvakaha kshatra bandhavah Muchukunda iti prokto Yavana Satmachaha Prabhu. As for ourselves, O tiger among men, we belong to a family of fallen Kshatriyas, descendants of King Ikshvaku. My name is Muchukunda, my lord, and I am the son of Yavanasva. Purport: it is common in Vedic culture that a Kshatriya will humbly introduce himself as a Kshatra Bandhu, a mere relative in a Kshatriya family. Or in other words, a fallen Kshatriya. In ancient Vedic culture, to claim a particular status on the basis of one's family relations was itself indicative of a fallen position. Kshatriyas and Brahmanas should be given status according to their merit by their qualities of work and character. When the caste system in India became degraded, people proudly claimed to be relatives of Kshatriyas or Brahmanas, though in the past such a claim, unaccompanied by tangible qualification, indicated a fallen position. Chiraprajagrashranto nidraya pahatendriyah shaye asmin vijane kamam kenapi utapito adhuna. I was fatigued after remaining awake for a long time, and my senses were overwhelmed by sleep. Thus I slept comfortably here in this solitary place until just now someone woke me. The man who woke me was burnt to ashes by the reaction of his sins. Just then I saw you possessing a glorious appearance and the power to chastise your enemies. Your unbearably brilliant effulgence overwhelms our strength, and thus we cannot fix our gaze upon you. O exalted one, you are to be honored by all embodied beings. Evam sambhashito rajnya bhagavan bhuta bhavanah pratyaha prahasan vanya meghanadha gabhiraya. Shukadeva Goswami continued, thus addressed by the king, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, origin of all creation, smiled and then replied to him in a voice as deep as the rumbling of clouds. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Janma Karma Bidhanani Shanti Me Anga Sahasrashah Na Shakyante Anusankyatum Anantadvan Mayapihi. The Supreme Lord said, my dear friend, I have taken thousands of births, lived thousands of lives and accepted thousands of names. In fact, my births, activities and names are limitless, and thus even I cannot count them. Kvachit rajam vimame parthivani urujanmabhi gunakarma bidhanani name janmani karihichit. After many lifetimes, someone might count the dust particles on the earth, but no one can ever finish counting my qualities, activities, names and births. Kalatrayo papannanani janma karmani me nripa anukramanto naivantam gachanti paramarshayah. O king, the greatest sages enumerate my births and activities which take place throughout the three phases of time, but never do they reach the end of them. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki. Nonetheless, O friend, I will tell you about my current birth, name and activities. Kindly hear. Some time ago, Lord Brahma requested me to protect religious principles and destroy the demons who were burdening the earth. Thus I descended in the Yadu dynasty in the home of Anaka Dundubi. Indeed, because I am the son of Vasudeva, people call me Vasudeva. It's a very humble introduction of Krishna, which he's doing. Because Muchukunda has officially asked, can you tell me something about who are you? You look very beautiful, wonderful, and your feet are like this, you look brilliant, your effulgence like this. You must be God, you must be demigods, you must be something. Can you tell me about your birth and who are you? What is your lineage? And then Muchukunda introduces himself. As far as me, I am concerned, I am Muchukunda, I am from this. So Krishna also officially is introducing himself. I have taken many births. And I have appeared in many names, in many forms. I myself cannot count some of them. In this particular situation, I am the son of Vasudeva. People call me Vasudeva. So it's very amazing that Krishna is introducing himself formally. And inside a cave somewhere in the forest when nobody is there, to one person, Muchukunda, the introduction is going on. And you can see that Muchukunda is asking questions like, as though you don't know who are you. But by the Lord's blessing, he is coming to know very soon who is Krishna. It's already started. Your lotus feet is so nice. You have such a blazing form. You must be somebody powerful. Maybe you are God. He's analyzing the situation, Muchukunda, out of his intelligence. But he comes to know who Krishna is because Krishna introduces himself. I have killed Kalanemi, reborn as Kamsa, as well as Pralamba and other enemies of the pious. And now, O king, this barbarian has been burnt to ashes by your piercing glance. Since in the past you repeatedly prayed to me, I have personally come to this cave to show you a mercy. for I am affectionately inclined to my devotees. So aham tavanugrahartam guham etam upagatah prartitah prachuram purvam tvayaham bhaktavatsalaha varan vranisha rajarshe sarvan kaman tadamide mam prasanna jana kaschin nabhuyo arhati sochitum. Now choose some benedictions from me, O saintly king. I will fulfill all your desires. One who has satisfied me never need again lament. The service that Muchukunda has done is to burn up Kalayavana. And he has been of service. Not only that, he is recognizing Krishna as somebody great. Must be God, like that. So, Muchukunda bowed down to the Lord when he heard this. Remembering the words of the sage Garga, he joyfully recognized Krishna to be the Supreme Lord Narayana. The king then addressed him as follows. Gargamuni had told him that this will happen to you, you will personally meet with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he remembered that and he said, oh, this must be the Supreme Lord Narayana. So he has recognized him. As soon as he is recognized, he starts his real prayer. Shri Muchukunda vacha vimohito ayam jana isha mayaya twadiyaya tvam na bhajati anartadrik sukhaya dukkha prabhaveshu sajjate griheshu yoshit purusascha vanchitah. Shri Muchukunda said, O Lord, the people of this world, both men and women, are bewildered by your illusory energy, unaware of their real benefit. They do not worship you, but instead seek happiness by entangling themselves in family affairs, which are actually sources of misery. Purport, Muchukunda immediately makes it clear that he is not going to ask the Lord for material blessings. He has advanced spiritually far beyond those who try to exploit religion for all kinds of material benefits. Artha means value, and the negation of this means anartha, which means that which is valueless or useless. Thus the term anartadrik indicates those whose vision is focused on valueless things, who have not understood what actual artha or value is. All that glitters is not gold. And Muchukunda here emphatically states that we should not ruin our spiritual chances by entangling ourselves in the fool's gold of bodily relationships. We are meant to love the Lord. Labdva jano durlabham atramanusham katanchit avyangam ayatnato anagha padaravindam na bhajati asan matir grihantha kupe patito yatha pashuhu. That person has an impure mind who, despite having somehow or other automatically obtained the rare and highly evolved human form of life, does not worship your lotus feet. Like an animal that has fallen into a blind well, such a person has fallen into the darkness of a material home. Mamai shakalo ajita nishfalo gato rajya shriyo unnadha madasya bhupade martyatma buddhe sutadhara kosha bhushvu asajamanasya duranta chintaya. I have wasted all this time, O unconquerable one, becoming more and more intoxicated by my domain and opulence as an earthly king, misidentifying the mortal body as a self, becoming attached to children, wives, treasury and land, as suffered endless anxiety. With deep arrogance, I took myself to be the body, which is a material object like a pot or a wall. Thinking myself a god among men, I traveled the earth surrounded by my charioteers, elephants, cavalry, foot soldiers, generals, disregarding you in my deluding pride. So, Muchukunda is not tempted by the offer of Krishna. Tell me what you want, benediction. He said immediately, he speaks about material life and its uselessness, which means I don't want any material benediction from you. Similarly, Prahlad also was given benediction offer by Lord Narasimha. And immediately Prahlad told him, what is the use of these things? Just what is the use? right? Being sheltered by you, under your shelter, is the greatest benediction. You are Varadaraja. Varadaraja Perumal means one who can give. Varada means benedictions. The king of benedictions you can give. That is shelter at your lotus feet to become a pure devotee. Varadaraja means the king of benedictions, means pure devotion given to you. That's the best of benedictions. Right? Krishna is Rasaraja also. He can give you a relationship in the topmost rasa. That is what intelligent devotees ask for. Demigods are mixed devotees. They don't always ask that. They always meet with Krishna and ask for material benediction. But they are very inclined to Krishna only. Here Muchukunda is better than even the demigods. Immediately as soon as he is given a benediction, he is analyzing wisdom he has gained by living in this world. And by Krishna's mercy, he is able to distill that wisdom and offer prayers with great realization. What is the use? We are simply born again and again. We simply try to enjoy, right? And so many janmas are spent. I did that already. I've already done that. I have come a long way in my life. I have seen many things. And I think surrender to your lotus feet is the best decision. It's the best decision. So this is wisdom. This is what is wisdom. Wisdom does not mean teaching you how to live material life better. In the material world, that is called material wisdom. How to be wise, how to get what you need, how to diplomatically put things forward. Don't try to change the things that you cannot change. Simply accept. You gain experience in material life. That may be useful. But real wisdom is the wisdom of Krishna consciousness. Understanding that how many ever times I live around like this in a wise way also materially, it's of no use. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. This cycle is actually ragging you. Being a good person, Prabhupada explains that repeatedly one is born again and again in Sattva-guna. Again and again you get stuck with the Sukha Sanghena Bhadnati. You get stuck with the Sukha that comes out of that situation. And you forget to worship the Supreme Lord. You forget to worship the Supreme Lord. What is the use of being in a good situation when you cannot liberate yourself from matter? Sattva-guna is a very good situation, actually. In fact, in that situation you can very well feel, now what more, this is best. This is wonderful. I can see things as they are in knowledge. Everything is illuminating. I understand everything, right? I can live a good material life. There's a great danger that you don't bother about getting out. Material comfort, especially in good karma, completely destroys your understanding of spiritual life. And is a cold water on your ambition to become, not ambition, your desire to actually get out. Fridayanda Maharaj was giving a nice example. He said that, traveling by trains and buses and all is one type of travel. But traveling by a flight is really pretty costly and sophisticated. The airport looks very different from all the bus stands and the railway platforms, which are so dirty and stinky, and crows are moving around, dogs are moving around, and there is stool on the railway tracks, and especially in India you can see all sorts of things. And they'll flush it with some water and dissolve it, and you'll see it's pretty dirty. And those who travel a lot will experience this. Travel a lot in all these buses and trains. So You can see in the airports it's very nice. It's fully AC, especially the international airports are very nice. You really feel that for all the money I've paid, let me enjoy it. You sit down and then you can nicely chant, you can read, and nice atmosphere. What if you think that it's pretty good here, let me not take the flight, let me stay here only. This is Sattva-gun. This is what Sattva-gun happens. It's so good, Some of these airports are so good. Dubai International Airport, so miles and miles of malls and walking and trains to take you from one terminal to the other. Why not just live here? It's so good, it's all going waste. What if you think like that? It is so good, the airport, that why take the flight and go back to India? You might as well live in the airport. Why go back to the Supreme Lord? It's so good. Sattva-gun living. In this way you get cheated. Because it is anyway a material guna only. You get cheated. Muchukunda knows all these things. Don't tempt me with these type of things. I know the airport syndrome. I'm not going to stay there and comfort. I'm not going to stay there in comfort. There is no shelter apart from your lotus feet. Okay? I definitely want to get out. I've gone right with Swargaloka and fought for Indra also. I've seen all of them and what they do. I've seen all of them and I've fought for them and I've gone through all their Somarasa and Menaka, Ramba, Kilotuma, Menaka, everything I've seen. There is nothing like your lotus feet. So don't tempt me again by saying what boon you want. I don't want any material boon. So this requires mercy to judge like this. This is real wisdom. This is wisdom. A person who has gone through material life understands this pretty well. Same type of wisdom you will see in the prayers of King Pururava. He goes behind Uroshi like nothing. Also in the wisdom of King Yayati, after really the very great king, often mentioned, but in his life history you will see that he is filled with romantic stuff in his life, but he learnt a very good lesson. You will see his wisdom in the end when he is speaking finally to his wife. He speaks about the goat story. One goat fell inside the well, she-goat, and a very beautiful goat, and it may screaming inside the well. Then came a very manly looking bearded male goat, and he said, "Oh, you poor female, you're inside the well. How sad, and who has stripped you like this naked? You look so beautiful also. Will you come out?" And he pulled her out. And then he became attracted to her and the goats got married. He's talking about his own life to his wife. This exactly happened to him. The goat got married. Then the goat had children. Then the goat family was there. Then the goat felt bad that there was another goat also he was interested in. Then this happened, that happened, and the whole goat story he told. He reduced his life to just a goat, fell in love with another goat. That's what happened to me. And I completely got diverted. And he's telling his wife, when you were that she-goat I saw. And because of you, I became a goat. I just became a real goat in the human form of life also. You are that she-goat. And he recollects this in wisdom. It's wisdom of life. When you get slapped and you have disappointments, when you really, have a tough time, that's when you think. You must get a little slapped by Maya. And you must ask these questions. This is human life. Successful human life means you are now understanding this is what it is. Fanatically following something and not really understanding, not asking questions, not having the experience, it will not really get you into Krishna consciousness so much, unless there is special mercy coming from the top for you. Right? So I value all these wisdom sayings of all these great personalities. In the Bhagavatam you will see that fantastic wisdom, realization. Muchukunda is filled with that. He will word things so nicely. He has understood very well. In front of Krishna, he is telling, I know this is how the material world functions. A man obsessed with thoughts of what he thinks needs to be done, intensely greedy and delighting in sense enjoyment, is suddenly confronted by you who are ever alert, like a hungry snake licking its fangs before a mouse. You appear before him as death. Very graphically describing. The foolish fellow does not understand. Death is waiting very close. Right? These are all facts of life. This is how life is. Very harsh, actually. Material life is very harsh. Material energy is callous. It simply functions. Death. Finished. Everything. There is no compromise. So you get to learn by experience over many lifetimes. Sometimes you don't learn after many lifetimes also. So this wisdom is coming from you, inspired by Krishna. That's why Krishna is very happy. Oh, you have learned. Now you have learned. You have understood. So sometimes in life we are very proud about ourselves, our talents, our karma, or I am successful. Everybody feels that. Even Prabhupada said, even the rickshaw puller, those days rickshaw were pulled, you sit down. In my younger days it was very. Prabhupada said, even the rickshaw puller is thinking, I am faster than the other fellow. I can make through the traffic much better than him. I know my way, I can maneuver it. I am faster than him. Ha ha ha, ting ting ting, rings the bell and move. That even he is thinking he is very great. Even the beggars are thinking, I got a better one, I did better begging than you. Don't think that you are this thing. Why you are putting only one hand, I put two hands. You get two hands, do this thing. Like the joke. Beggar put two hands. Say, hey, idhukra rendu kai podra? So he said that, sir, business is very good. I opened another branch. Wise, very wise, that you may do many things in life like that which is very good. You opened another branch and you produce another product and then people praise you for that. The world is full of people who praise you for all stupid things that you do. Oh, so very nice, wonderful. Never fall for it. It's actually Maya telling you, very nice, keep going on. I need people like you to run the world. Keep going. I need your contribution, you stupid idiot. Please keep going on. Very nice. You see, Koto Nidra, Jao Maya, Pishachira Kole. Drink my feeding bottle. Sit on my lap. I'll give you all the facilities. People like you are very much needed to run my empire. I have a huge corporation. Without your cooperation, how will this huge material corporation run? I need people like you who have forgotten Krishna, forgotten yourself. Then only this will run. Then only this will run. And Muchukunda said, I was such a fool. I thought I'm a great fighter. I will go and fight even for the demigods. And I fought for them, and finally what I did, I just slept. So looking into all these things, what am I doing? Why am I doing? What's the goal of life? Where should I go? These real questions of life have to be answered. $1 million questions, $1 billion questions, $1 trillion questions. They have to be answered. And wisdom means knowing what's happening, why it's happening. Prabhupada was a very wise man. People could see it. You talk about material life, he'll tell you many things. You talk about cooking, he'll tell you. You talk about eating, he'll tell you, eat this like this, it's good to eat. Talking about everything, he will tell you wisdom. Very wise man. That's why people are very attracted to him. Materially, very wise. Not a fanatic follower. He knows what is required in life. And the way he dealt with people, the way he gave solutions, you can understand, he's not a fanatic. Very good understanding. I think it's Trivikram Maharaj looking down the window in his room. And, I think it was in, where is it country? And Prabhupada asking, so, I think it was in France or somewhere. So, French women look very good. So Prabhupada asking, so you want to get married, nice ladies? You don't want to get married and have a woman? This he said, no Prabhupada, it's very attractive, but he was also very realistic, right? But I think this thing. So in this way, Prabhupada, you'll see some of the comments he made are so down to earth and practical, very practical. And then sometimes when he knew that somebody could take it, he would also do practically something like, you renounce now, you get to doing this. Wisdom-laden man, filled with not just a spiritual fanatic, cult. Different people he dealt with different things. There was one Prabhupada disciple, very strong-looking man, who came to me in my earlier days, and he said to me, I was introduced to him and said, he's looking for a wife. Then he told me, Prabhupada told me I should get married and produce 10 children. I said, what an instruction. What an instruction. I mean, to different people he gave different instruction. He saw this person as, like a Prajapati, meant for it. Let him, devotional service for you is like this. So I was stunned. Another devotee told me that Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj told me this. Prabhupada told him, looking at him always complaining, I order you to be happy. This is my instruction to you. You should always be happy in Krishna consciousness. After that, if you get an order like this from the Guru, you have to be happy. So it's amazing instructions Prabhupada gave to different people. So he was a very wise man. He knew how to deal with different types of people. They're all bachas for him. You need this, you need this, you need this. Very towering spiritual personality. Colossus, able to give advice. Materially, spiritually, devotionally, everything. Taking a morning walk and just casually telling, they are fools and rascals. He's speaking about a whole great adventure to moon and back. But those times people understand what he was saying. He was a very wise man. So wisdom is important. We follow people who are wise, materially and spiritually. In a devotee, he has nicely considered these things and come to good conclusions in life. Krishna is my only gati. I understand that. Although I am inclined this way, that way, finally it is this only. Gradually. So this is the best part of Krishna conscious life. That you make a mature decision, distilled with a lot of good information, and arrive at a conclusion which is in keeping with Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita and the instructions of devotees in the Bhagavatam. Right? So we should be interested in becoming wise men. In the Christian theology, you'll hear that 3 wise men came from the east to see the beautiful child in the cow pen, in the Goshala, who is born. And they are supposed to be wise men from India, kings from something like that. They were wise, and they actually gave very wise information. World needs wise people, especially in Kali Yuga, like Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to give direction to the world what to do. People are lost without a leader. Whole world doesn't know what to do. There is not one intelligent person giving information. This is what it is, this is how to do. This is why Raja Rishis are so great. Muchukunda is a person who led people wisely, both materially and spiritually. Right? Not just he's a spiritual fanatic who joined the Hare Krishna movement. Throughout his life, suddenly he jumped into it and the Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram, 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 neophytish and this thing, and unable to give advice on many other topics in life. People in the outside world are also intelligent. They are also thinking about a lot of things. And you have to give a holistic, complete solution. Krishna consciousness is that solution. When Muchukunda speaks to Krishna, Krishna is actually pleased. Very well considered prayer. He has really understood. So many of these prayers are coming from the heart with realizations and wisdom of life. That's the meaning of a prayer. Wherever our situation is, whatever we are, with our experience, we should offer our prayer feelingly to Krishna. It need not be exactly like Muchukunda's prayer. It can be anything. But wisdom and blessings for such type of wisdom is our prayer to Krishna. So that we can take Krishna consciousness with value, with experience, and we can give it to others in a similar way. Om Tat Sat Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.